Hello everyone and welcome back to Kentucky Garden Gal. Welcome to my front porch. It is the 1st of February. Puxatawny Phil did not see his shadow, and I tell you, it's reflective in these temperatures. I think it's already up to like 53. I'm out with no jacket, just a vest on. Of course, anytime I go out, I wear sunscreen as a moisturizer year round because I'm fair-skinned. So we always need to protect our skin. But I've got my hat on. I'm ready to play in the greenhouse today. I think I'm going to start some of my seeds. But I wanted to sit down and take just a minute and tell you some of the things that I'm going to be doing in my garden in a Zone 7 here in South Central Kentucky. And you may be wondering, what can I do? What should I do? Is there anything that needs to be done in this month? And a couple of things that if you have monkey grass, this is the time for you to cut your monkey grass. So if you have a lot, you can just mow it, weed whack it, whatever you need to do, but now's the time to get that monkey grass cut. And also you want to trim up your crepe myrtles. So we don't want to murder our crepe myrtles. We all know what that looks like. So what you want to do is look at your crepe myrtle and just take off any limbs basically that's kind of going this way or that's broken. But generally with the crepe myrtle, you want 3 to 5 trunks coming up, and then it gets that really nice smooth look after a few years on the trunks. So just anything that doesn't belong, now's the time to cut that off. And also we can look at our fruit trees and check those over good, inspect those. Again, anything that's going this way or looks a little wonky, now's the time to go ahead and cut that off. And you want to make sure that when you're doing chores like that, that whatever you've used, you have taken just some alcohol and cleaned the blades on whatever you're using. If it's loppers, nippers, just whatever you're using, just to make sure that we don't spread any disease. And then you want to let the truck go by, and then you want to get just as close to the tree as you can when you're cutting off the branch, because you don't want anything sticking out, and then it should just form a nice little collar where you've cut that branch off. And this is something that it just takes experience. You do it, and then maybe next year you're like, that one looks really good, that one doesn't look so good. And you get out there, it's trial and error, and you just learn how to do that. So those are a couple of things that we can be looking at: our monkey grass, our crepe myrtles, our fruit trees. We want to start spraying those. And also, I think in January, if you look back at that video, I am trying to get ahead of some different issues that I have in my own garden. So I am doing a lot of pre-emergence and prevention as far as spraying and spreading different things. So I'm just going to continue with that. And if you're interested, you can look back in January's video, and you can see what I used, because I showed you what I put out in January. But yeah, like as gardeners, we're just constantly learning. Like I literally learn something new constantly, and I have been gardening for 30 years. So if you're a new gardener and you're watching this, enjoy the process. Enjoy the learning process. You are going to have failures. You are going to have seeds that do not germinate. You are going to have plants that die. You are just going to have things that happen, because that's part of gardening. But once you do that and you learn what caused it, or you learn to identify what's going on, then you can get a little bit better, and then your gardening skills just sharpen. So my best advice from an old gardener is to enjoy the process. connect with other gardeners, whether it's your neighbors, a garden group, people on Facebook. You know, I talk about this all the time, and I just feel like we have the best community on the Kentucky Garden Gal Facebook page. And there's no dumb questions. From time to time somebody will say, I know this is a dumb question. No, it's not. There's no such thing. There is no such thing. And trust me, there's plenty I don't know, and I'm learning. We're all learning together. We're all enjoying it together, enjoying the process, enjoying the peace and the healing that comes from being out in your garden. So, enough of that TED Talk. So another thing that I had mentioned that I wanted to share with you all, I am wanting to add some color to my front garden. So one of the ways that I wanted to do this, these are the 17-gallon pails that I buy from Walmart. Now, I used to be able to walk in to my local Walmart and pick these up. I think they were $6. They've gone up to maybe $8. And I ended up finding these online, on Walmart online. And I think if I spent $50, it was free shipping. So I had some other things that I needed to purchase, so I just went ahead and bought it with this order. But these are the tubs that I have such good luck with. I have been growing my herbs in these tubs for probably 10 years, and I do have some tubs that are 10 years old that are still holding up. Now, do they look a little rough? Yeah, but once the garden fills in and the plants start flowing over, you really don't notice it. And if it bothers me that bad, I can always take some spray paint and spray them. So I get these at Walmart. They're 17-gallon. They are plastic. Now, they come with these handles, and for my purposes, because I'm using these as a planter, as just a big planter, so I cut these off. I'll just take my nippers and I'll cut these off. And then, as you can see, the bottoms, I go ahead and there's some holes that I go ahead and drill, and then I just do some more holes in there. So once I get my pots prepped by drilling my holes, what I'm going to do in this situation, I'm trying to get 3 seasons out of these containers. I'm putting them up front by my sidewalk, and it is north facing, and I have a large maple tree up there, but I have watched to see where the sun is, like what part gets sun, and I know that I can put 4 of these, 2 on each side, and I have enough sunshine that I can get some glads to grow, and I can get some tulips to grow. So, you know how super frugal I am, and I wait until January, and this is when I start buying my tulip bulbs. And they are, whoops, there they go. They're about 75 to 80% off, sometimes as low as 90%. I keep them in my refrigerator. They're good, they're solid, there's not a thing wrong with all of these bulbs. And I have literally hundreds of bulbs. I can't remember exactly, but to purchase the containers, to purchase the compost, and to purchase all the bulbs, it came in right at $100. So when you consider that is 3 seasons, you do it once, and it's done. Your bulbs are going to come back every year. In fact, they're just going to get bigger and they're going to multiply. So I'm really happy to be doing this project. So this is something that I want to get finished today. Now, another thing in February that we're all just itching to do is to start planting our seeds. And I should just probably show you, I have thousands upon thousands of seeds, and is that enough? No, because there's always something that I'm looking for. So I had this arrive in the mail yesterday, and I was able to sit down. Well, we know what time it is. The bells are going to play. I hope you can still hear me. This is the church bells that are playing in the background. I'll try to talk louder. But I was able to find some seeds that, believe it or not, I didn't have. And I was noticing that by the 1st of January, some of the seed companies that I like to buy from, like M.I. Gardner, they were already sold out on some things. I mean, things go like that. So if you're seeing seeds pop up in your big box stores, get in there, and if you see it and you need it or you want it, you should probably go ahead and buy it, because the gardening, people are just gardening. You know, people have figured out, and now here comes a truck. But let that go by. The reason I came to the front porch, Ramsey's in the back, and the chickens are laying eggs, so it's kind of loud back there. But these are all the farmers bringing in, I'm not sure what they're bringing in, but they're bringing in their crops and things. But getting back to this, so a lot of you did the winter sowing method in the milk jugs, where you put those out the 1st of January. This is usually a pretty safe time for us. Once I get this planting project done, between today and tomorrow, I'm going to be in my greenhouse, and I'm just going to go ahead and start everything that I want to grow. Now, one thing that I do as a gardener that may be different, I don't sow all of my seeds and then that's it. Like, I continually, all through the summer, the growing season, I'm starting seeds. Like, I don't start, if I'm going to grow zinnias, I don't just sow them one time and then that's it. I sow them, I usually will do them every 2 weeks. That way I have different zinnias coming into flower at different times. So that's something that that you may want to consider, is spreading out, kind of spacing out when you start your seeds, so that you'll have a longer growing season. Now, I did a lot of experimenting this past late fall, and you all know I have bunnies. I like the bunnies for their cold manure. I put it directly on my plants, and I really like to give the bunnies fresh carrots. So I had carrots and radishes all summer long that I was pulling for my bunnies and giving them the fresh food. Well, I went ahead and probably in October, I started another bed of carrots. And let me tell you, I was able to give them the tops like all the way up until probably the middle of December. And then we had that really Arctic blast, like 10 days of super cold weather. So at that point, the carrots were frozen, they were under ice. But then, after all of that thawed, I didn't know what it was going to do to the carrots, to the carrot tops. They are fine. They have rebounded right back. So that has told me that in Zone 7, I can keep things going. Now, It is in somewhat of a microclimate, where it's protected like by buildings and different things like that. It gets a lot of sun, but so far that's working for me, and that is something that you might consider doing. You know, seeds are so inexpensive, especially if you're saving your seeds. Maybe you're exchanging with friends or in a seed exchange. Go ahead and experiment with your seeds and just see what they'll do, because, you know, I've been pleasantly surprised when I just decided, hey, let's just try this and see what happens. So those are the things that I am going to be working on the next couple of days. I wanted to let you all know that we were at the farm, our farm in East Tennessee. Unfortunately, I had a dear cousin to pass away. So Colton and Cameron and I ran up to the farm, and we, of course, when we go, you know, it's just, we're trying to work and get things done. And the kids had gotten me some solar lights for the barn, and Colton got those installed. We had a tree fall on one of our fences, and Colton was able to get the tree off and get the fence repaired. And keep in mind, it rained the entire time we were there. So everything that we did in the rain. But that's okay, because we love what we're doing. We're happy to be doing it. And then Colton also, we've been having a significant water issue, as in no water in the house whatsoever. So Colton was able to get under the house and found that we had 2 busted pipes. So he took some pictures, and we're going to go back the end of this month, and we're going to be able to repair all of that ourselves. Now, one thing that I did do, I had a big barrel, and I put the barrel at the corner of the house to collect rainwater, because that is easy to flush the toilets with. So, you know, it's almost, we feel like we're primitive homesteaders, and we love every minute of it. We're not complaining. We love being at the farm. We just feel it's such a privilege to be the 4th and 5th generations on this farm. So I do have a video that I made that is on the Kentucky Garden Gal Facebook page. I went live for just a little bit to see, first of all, if I was able to do it, if there was enough Wi-Fi there. And then I just kind of showed the spring and the holler, and then the barn where Colton was putting up the lights. So if you're interested in that, you can pop over to the Facebook page and take a look at that. But I'm gonna have to check this video. I see I'm up to 18 minutes now, and I know five of that, the church bells were ringing, trucks were going by. So I hope I can use this video, and if not, I'll just do another one for us. But I hope that you all are excited about the 2024 growing season. I hope that you're getting out there, you're prepping your pots, maybe you're sanitizing to start your seeds, whatever you're doing, pulling some weeds, deciding what you're going to plant, looking through seed catalogs. You know, the nurseries will be opening up soon, and that is just a happy time for me when I can go into the nurseries and just look at the plants and be with the plants, and then get our season started. But I appreciate everyone that's here, everyone that's part of this community, and I just hope that we are helping each other, that we're all learning together, we're encouraging each other, and I just appreciate everybody. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Well, y'all, as it turns out, I'm not quite finished with this video, because I wanted to share with you all the experience that I just had. I needed to run to Lowe's, which is what we use here in Franklin, our big box store, to get the potting soil. I like this. It's the Stay Green potting mix plus fertilizer, and normally this is $11.64. And if you have a bag that has some tears in it, such as like this right here, they will give you the bag of soil for 50% off. So I was able to get some plastic from the store that I could put in my car, and I'll get this out, and then I'll take a blower and blow it out, and then wipe this off with just some wipes. But I also wanted to show you that they have got all of the tulips and hyacinths and their bulbs 50% off. And I mean, you would think these bulbs have been sitting there since, you know, probably middle of October. These bulbs are fine. You can look and see how healthy these bulbs are. And since our ground isn't frozen, I could put these in the ground, but I think I'm actually going to use them in pots. But I got, let's see, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 74 bulbs, plus 3 huge bags of potting soil. Oh, and I got a little watering can. Those were on clearance. My total altogether was $49. $49. So it is not too late to be planting tulips. And like I said, they're on sale. There's plenty left. So make sure that you check in your area and take advantage of the half-price bulbs and the beautiful weather.